Aloha and welcome to Aloha Friday, where greatness is made casual. I'm your host, Shane Austin, mental performance coach and professional athlete. I'm here with my co-host, Dave Austin, who's a former professional athlete, mental performance coach, and founder of Extreme Focus. As always, kick back, grab a seat, grab a Mai Tai, enjoy with us, engage with us as we take on greatness, because greatness doesn't have to be so daunting. People think, oh, greatness isn't for me. My dog is barking right now. She's trying to be great. But greatness comes in all shapes and sizes. And today we're talking about pride versus proud. Is there a difference? And why is it important? So I'm looking forward to diving into that content here with my co-host. But before, we always love to start in gratitude. And anybody joining us, take a moment and soak in the gratitude. Get yourself grounded in gratitude. The attitude shifter you always need in life, you can always shift it with gratitude. So Dave, what are you gratitude? Oh, that's not it. What are you
grateful for? There you go. We got it. Now we're in roll, man. We're in flow. You know what? I this morning had coaching calls out in the backyard here. I am so grateful for the beauty that's here. We have a stream running along. We have trees that go up 200 feet and the sun was shining through. So as I'm coaching, I'm being inspired by just the absolutely gift of the beauty of this place here in Utah that we chose to be. And I know that makes me a better coach because I am so inspired by the magic around me. So I am just grateful that we made this decision to be here. So there you have it.
Well, I'm grateful for just the people in my life that have helped shape me. We're an average of the 5 closest people that you surround yourself with. I have more than 5 people that I surround myself with constantly, but I've had great influences in my life. I'm in a great environment with a lot of great friends, family, and just great support system around me. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for even just for our audience too, the people that join and engage with us live, even the people watching the replays that comment in later. I love it. And we love when you engage with us and shoot us some comments and really dive into our discussion, because we're kind of debating a couple different ideas and topics, and we love to hear from you. And I know it can be a little bit scary sometimes to put a comment out there and share with us, but I'll tell you, where else can you actually engage live with a host? You can't do it on radio. You can't do it on podcasts that you listen to. This is your opportunity. Take advantage and dive into the discussion with us. That's where we get to have so much fun. And with that said, yes.
I just got to say, even if you disagree with us, that's cool. It's about a discussion, man. It's feedback. It's like, we'll box a little bit with you. Jab a little bit here. But it means more, because we know we get a lot of people who aren't on live, but they watch it afterwards. And you can have impact just with your comments. So be a part of it. You know what? You can either be in the stands or you can be at the plate and take a swing. Take a swing and join us, baby.
And you can't get a hit without taking a swing. I love it. I love it. So in regards to engagement, let's all get into trivia to get it going here. And this is where we get to compete against Dave. Dave has not seen the questions ahead of time. This is where you get a chance.
I love this and hate it at the same time.
You get to put in your answers before he can get the right answer. We got 3 questions today. Now, we, as some of you all know, we do our own trainings where we incorporate animals, and animals are a big part of our mental performance training. We call them our beasts because we tap into the instincts of these animals, and those instincts are something that is within us, but a lot of times we get in our own way. So when we uncover those natural instincts within us, we can all be better, greater versions of ourselves and reaching our true potential. So with that said, today is an animal trivia. It is not one of our beasts, but they're different animals. So that's why you would be the expert on the animals that we teach, but I'm going to go with some other animals. So the first one, the aardvark. Can you even spell that? The
aardvark. Can I even say it?
Is native to which continent? Which continent is the aardvark a native to? Again,
they live in the
comments. See if you can beat Dave to it. I know we're on a kind of an 8-second delay or so, but see if you can get the answer before Dave does. He can't see your comments, so you're not going to be helping him.
So I know they live in
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that place.
Antarctic continent.
Antarctica?
Yeah.
Is that a serious answer?
No.
Okay. Dave's answer is Antarctica. All right. We're moving on to the next question. The only mammal that can truly fly. Remember, mammal, hairy, vertebrae, can truly fly.
Man.
A man? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I just flew into town just the other day. I had to go to San Diego. So I know I'm capable of flying. I do get help with these jets. Oh, you're talking about just by ourselves?
Yeah. No. I'm good with that answer. Jump off a cliff and see if you'll be able to fly. Is that your final answer?
No, let's see.
Homo sapiens?
Mammal.
Mammal. A dog is a mammal. Zebra's a mammal. Oh, we got some answers coming in. I didn't see a correct answer, so I'm not going to.
I wish a fish was a mammal.
There's certain types, like a whale, dolphin.
Yeah, but not.
I'm seeing some correct answers coming in.
Oh shoot!
You can't help. All right, I'm going to let you think about it. Last one: largest rodent found in North America. Obviously, our backyard. You should know it, right? Largest rodent.
Well, I would say I found it in our shed back when we lived in Camarillo. It was the biggest rat I'd ever seen.
Rats are definitely rodents, and you got some big ones out there. I think I've seen some of them. I saw some of the rat traps you guys had, and some of them.
Kathy heard me scream one time. I go out to our shed. I go, oh, and then I just take the cat and throw him in there and close the door.
Oh, good. The rat that's the same size as your cat. You just throw them into two cats. That's smart. All right, so you got some great answers today. You got humans flying. You got Antarctica is where aardvarks come from, and now you got a giant cat-eating rat as your rodent. I do like some of the answers. Flying fish, but fish is unfortunately not a mammal. But one of the flying fish is one of our beast triggers, one of our beast animals that we use in our training. Okay, we'll go to the top. I am seeing some answers. And again, even if it's replay, answer before I give these answers. Let's see if you can get it. Be honest. Aardvark, native to which continent? The answer is not Antarctica.
South America.
Close. It is Africa.
Africa.
So you got at least the first letter right. That's about it. Only mammal that can truly fly. It is not humans. I don't.
Wait, you don't believe in levitation?
I don't encourage you all to experiment with that. Maybe David Blaine's the only one who can fly, but it is, and it's not a flying squirrel. Yes, they are mammals, but they don't truly fly. They just glide. But it is the bat, and there are some correct answers on here. I see bat. And then the last one is the largest rodent found in North America. I do see a correct answer. I just wonder if you Googled it. That's my only question. No Googling allowed. But it is the beaver. The beaver.
I never thought of the beaver as a rodent.
Exactly. I mean, I'm thinking the same thing. And we're getting questions. Who is David Blaine? Have you not seen Street Magic? He's one of the most incredible street magicians out there. He might not have a show in Vegas, or maybe he does. I'm not sure. But he does a lot of crazy street magic. But yeah, I didn't know that beavers were considered rodents either, because I feel like they're, I don't know, they're productive to this.
Well,
society.
you do a good job, because you really make me look like an idiot each week with these, but I get to learn, right? You either win or you learn, and I'm learning stuff I just didn't know.
Well, that's the goal. I mean, the trivia is always fun and stuff, but really, I just like to make you look dumb. So that's my goal in this. Now, so we'll move on to the quote of the week. Again, you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, social media, anywhere. I always do a quote of the week, and this week's quote comes from Pomponius. Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
Some men shrink into dark corners to such a degree that they see darkly by day. Sounds a little, I don't know what you would want to call it. Well, that's a kind of a Stoic philosophy, but a lot of people filter their vision based on their influences, the things around them, right? You turn on the TV, you see news, everything's negative, and you have a negative perception of the world around you. Well, we got to change our filters, because if you're always taking in dark dark, you're just soaking in the dark influences, you're going to see everything else as dark. So take off those dark blinders. It really is a beautiful, great world that we do live in. And that's why we start in gratitude, to shift our focus into that which is beautiful and uplifting.
Remember, there can be no darkness in light. So, it's like if you think about when you were younger and it's dark and you think the boogeyman's in the corner, so you're afraid, right? Turn on the light, there's no more darkness. That's the same thing metaphorically we need to do in life. When you're starting to feel dark, when you're starting to feel the negative vibes, turn on the light, face it, see it, don't stuff it, but then it doesn't have the hold over you and you can move forward much stronger.
Yeah. And I think there's a great quote Martin Luther King said about that as well. And, I have something to do where he translates that too into hate and to love. There's no room for hate when you have love. So even in these debates, there's a lot of polarizing topics out there in today's society, politics, the new Nike commercial, all of these things. There could be a lot of opposite ends meeting, but it doesn't have to come from hate. We can have different opinions, but if we come together collectively, still in love, still in light, then we can agree to disagree. And that's what these debates are about as well. So as long as we are always taking the light road instead of the dark road, then we will progress. All right. With that, Coach Dave, what is the tip of the day?
Well, the tip of the day goes a lot along with what we're going to be discussing today. Some people, I come run across them all the time of, oh gosh, well, when I do this, when I do that, then I'll be worthy. The truth is you're worthy right now, and you don't have to have done what Shane's done. You don't have to have done what I've done. It's what you've done, and honor it. Actually appreciate it. Things that you appreciate go up in value. Things that you don't, they go down, they depreciate. You want to appreciate your life wherever it's at. Don't wait for something magical that's going to happen when you can look and see the magic that's already happened. And if you really look at it, just take your time and think about the different things that have happened in your life. And when you start seeing them as, wow, I am so grateful for that, you're going to be living a life so much more fulfilled, so much more joyful.
So, it goes right back to just shifting our perspective and shifting our focus on which you want to focus on. And again, my dog is really wanting to jump into the show today. Well, that does lead us right into the topic of the day, is pride versus proud. Now, at first thought when we were deciding to talk about this one, it's like, oh, that does kind of sound like the same, but let's go through and really dig into the nuts and bolts of what is the difference and how it really can benefit us when we understand the difference. And I will just turn it over to my less attractive co-host to take on pride versus proud.
Oh my gosh. These shows are just your opportunity, isn't it?
I'm just taking the opportunity because I see the old school Aloha shirt. I'm kind of a new school Aloha shirt. I just want to know, maybe we should have a poll each week of who's got the better Aloha shirt. And I'm just curious, do we go the old school routes, the giant flowers? Mine's a little festive today. It's kind of all over the place. But anyways,
old school always comes back around. You're just behind. You haven't caught up. That old school's here now. It's like great bands. If you've ever noticed, there's a pattern. A band has a hit, right? And they're just the biggest thing going. Then it's like they're gone. They're just out of it. 20 years later, if they're still together, they're bigger than ever. They're bigger than when they were even hit makers. It's kind of funny how that happens. So this shirt, baby, it's just happening again now. You got to stay in it.
Proof is in the pudding. Well, I want to know. Comment below. Who's got the better Aloha spirit Aloha shirts? All right. With that said, while people are chiming in on that, you definitely gotta get some new shirts. You can go get some. I bet you they're on sale right now. Now that we're going into fall, this is when I got them last year. So you can get them for cheap. Go to Marshall's, TJ Maxx. Anyways, pride versus proud. Take it away, Dave. What is the difference? Why does it freaking matter?
Such a great subject to really dive into. These are the kind of things you don't normally think about, right? But that's what we like to do on this Aloha Friday, is get you thinking about things that Well, maybe there's a different look at that, because the way that I see pride versus proud now, as we've looked into it, is that I feel like pride is like, look at me. I'm not enough. Please look at me. See all the stuff, and you kind of throw up all the stuff you've done because you're trying to prove yourself. So that's a different kind of energy than what I feel proud is. I feel proud is, you know what? I am grateful for all that I have. I'm proud of you, Shane. Believe it or not, with all the crap you give me, I'm proud of you. And your accomplishments. I'm proud of my family. I'm proud of the things that I've done. And if I'm not really proud of it, then I'm not being grateful. I'm not grateful for those opportunities. Many times I find some of my clients who have played professionally at the highest level. I'll take one of our clients that he played 16 years in professional baseball. And, as he looks at it, only 5 of them as a major leaguer. Well, come on, 5 years in Major League Baseball? That's awesome. But he was looking at it more that he was a failure. So we worked on just, hey, why don't you be grateful for that opportunity? What you did is remarkable. And I look at my own life. I do the same thing. Those that know me, I tell a story about 3 years ago. I'm watching the Grammys on television. I'm going, I love the Grammys. I love music. And then they go, and now the Presidential Merit Award. I'm like, gosh, that sounds like a really big deal. I should go out into the garage, find mine, unpack it, because I've just been sitting in a box somewhere because I did receive one, but I never honored it. I was never proud because I figured that, well, if I did it, it can't be that big a deal. It took years later to see it and see someone else get presented with it and go, that is a big deal. And I'm being a butthead of not honoring, something that's really a great accomplishment. So it's out of the box. I have it in my office out there so I can see it and I can feel proud that it's something that I did, rather than, oh, it can't be that good a thing. I see too many people not owning the greatness that's in them. And it doesn't have to be a Grammy award. It doesn't have to be the presidential award. Whatever it is, like I said, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all my sons. I'm proud of my wife. And I am grateful and that I have this. So that's the difference for me. What about you?
Yeah, no, I love this because it's just such a small shift in the way that we see things that can make all of the difference. And like you said, a lot of people don't credit themselves enough. And they're always looking, well, I got to get here, especially the ambitious ones, right? And well, if I'm not here until I get there, then I'll be somebody. But, who's to say you're not somebody right now? And that's exactly what this show is all about. Greatness made casual. Greatness comes in all different shapes and sizes and forms, and you don't have to compare yourself to anybody else. Remember, comparison is the death of joy. And when we compare ourselves to others, then maybe we do look like a failure, or we do look like, well, I can't be proud of this because this person has this and they have this car and this, and we start, keeping up with the Joneses. But you can truly be proud of the gifts that you have, of the blessings that you have. And that, like you said, goes into gratitude. Whereas I see pride as more of an insecurity that you're not enough. So you do have to show off and showboat. And it comes off boastful and it comes off inauthentic. I was actually just listening to a podcast on the way over here. And this is literally what he talks about, because he was a marketer and he gets on stage and speak. You've been speaking a long time. You're a very seasoned vet when it comes to taking on the stage. When he first got into speaking, he was young, but he was a very good marketer. So he had a lot of success. He had a lot of track record, and track record's great. It shows off, a little bit of social proof, but he was going off and just listing all these things, just trying to, like you were saying, throw up on everybody, because he realized later on with some coaching, coach kind of helped navigate through this, that he was just insecure because of his age. He thought because he was so young, nobody would respect him and the accomplishments that he's made. So then he came off very arrogant, very inauthentic, and people were turned off to it. And I think it doesn't matter if you're on stage or not, just with the way you talk to people. I think we see it all the time, just in one-on-one conversations where somebody goes and talks about me. And that's where the pride side comes from. And it comes from just their own insecurities, that they really aren't enough. Proud comes from that you are enough regardless of what you've done. And it's like you said, the gratitude behind that. And there's a confidence behind that rather than an arrogance, a cockiness, a showboatiness. It's just an owning. And you can just be it. You can just own it. You don't have to go and display it. You can just, be it. And I think if we just take that confidence into anything that we do, we can continue to just enjoy life. And again, going back to that definition of happiness is however you define it. You don't have to compare it to somebody else. You can be happy right where you're at. I've raised a great family. Maybe I wasn't successful in business, or I haven't been up until now, but I have things that I can be proud of. And when you come from that power of gratitude and not boastfulness, then it's a strength. It's a power, but it does take the awareness. We talk about SAPA in our training, self-awareness, positive attitude. And with SAPA, you can have the awareness, okay, is this in a prideful state or is this in a proud moment? And I think you just continue to train and develop the mind to understand the awareness of which end of the spectrum am I at right now? Because it is a very small shift. It's a fine line. We're talking here. It's a very fine line.
It is a very fine line. You're making so many good points. And even I'll share something personal. Before we went on, Shane and I always talk about what we're going to talk about, right? And then we let it go into the flow. So there's prep and then openness to let it go. And I said, well, Shane, what do you think? Should I show the Presidential Merit Award or should I just talk about it? And he goes, we thought about it. He goes, I think that would turn into pride. Yes, I got it. Yes, you got it. Here it is. Here it is. You see it? You see it? And it's just a really, really fine line. And as you said that, I'm like, you're right. You see, it's just those simple little things. And so awareness is power, and go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, because I just thought of this right now, is that awards and accolades are man given. And that I don't need to justify my success or my perspective on success based on what other people have given me. But what the person that you had to become, or the person that you are naturally to earn that award of, the Presidential Merit Award, that's what you own. That's what you're proud of. It's not necessarily the actual accolade, because I think about when I was, I had a great season in AFL and I felt, in my mind, I was proud of my own MVP-like season. Now, there's voters that vote who the MVP is at the end of the season. And, and I don't know if there's an official runner-up, but I think it was a two-man race, and the other guy got it. So it's like, now do I see myself as, well, I didn't hit my goal. That was my goal for the year. That was my affirmations that year. Do I see that now as a failure because of that result? Or, it could have easily been swayed the other way. I know that I had an MVP-like season, and I showed up in just the way that I was being. And I can be proud of that. I can be proud of the way that I took the field that year, regardless of what award I did get or did not get.
Oh, I love that, because then you're not so result oriented. You're action oriented. You did. And you know what? You were MVP many weeks. Every week they had an MVP of the week for the entire league. You got that many times over. You just didn't get the final one that you searched for. And if we get so caught up in our results, it freezes us from being free to really just be a part of that journey, really own the journey and love the journey as you go. And you did. You had an MVP season. You did. There's no two ways around it. Whether you got the award or not, you had an MVP season.
I just realized is that we are already starting to kind of give a teaser for next week. What we're going to be talking about, really, with goals versus intentions, results versus the process of who you're showing up as. So I don't want to dive into it too much, because this will almost be like a part 1 and part 2, actually. So next week, we kind of teased it right there. We're going to talk about goals versus intentions. And I think this week is a great pride versus proud. I'd love to see, again, in the comments, anybody chiming in, again, even if it's the replay, chime in, let us know what you think of it. If there's any moments where you felt the difference between pride and proud. I think we've all been at both ends of the spectrum. There's times where we got to have that awareness or you have an accountability partner like me, where I can slap you in the face and say, hey, put that award down. That's prideful. let's just own who we became to achieve that award. That's where the proud comes in. And sometimes I think you're a little too proud of me. So I got to tell you to shut up on that too. Well, I love it. I love, again, where these discussions go. We do a little prep, like you said beforehand, but then we just let it go. And I was, having light bulbs click even just during this short discussion. So, I mean, in closing, you want to get on to the review of the week?
Yeah,
we're proud of our audience, of our clients, of anybody that, regardless if they gave us any reviews, we're proud of the work that we do. So
there you go. So in honor of the NFL, week 1, baby, it's week 1 of NFL. Those that don't like football, hey, just embrace it. It is a part of our life, and have fun with it. But
and you can embrace being last place in fantasy again this year.
Oh, listen to that. Everyone, I get nothing but a hard time because I was three-peated, won it 3 years in a row. And last year
talk about cheating.
I started something new. I was number 1 again, but it was at the other end of number 1.
First one out.
This is my comeback here. So anyway, this comes from Warren Moon. Warren Moon is an NFL Hall of Fame quarterback. Amazing, his career was incredible. Now he's the voice of the Seattle Seahawks. So if you're up in the Washington area and you like the Seahawks, you'll be hearing a lot of Warren Moon because he's their guy on camera. So anyway, here's what Warren Moon had to say about the Beast program that we are so blessed and honored to teach and coach. The keys to winning in every aspect in your life are contained within the pages of Be a Beast. So that was more of a testimonial to the book when he read the book. I know there's a quarterback up there for Seattle that loves the book too. We've heard that Russell Wilson got a copy of it, and I'm proud of that. Maybe I should be prideful.
So I should pick him up. I should pick him up on my fantasy team now that he's starting to learn our Beast principles.
Yeah.
He's gonna be mentally dominant this year. I like that. So love that. Great review. I think we're proud of that review, right?
Yeah, very proud. No, I'm very proud.
Well, in closing, I always like to give just any recommendations, things I'm listening to. Definitely a podcast bookworm. I have a little book of the month, this book of the month. And I don't know if you've read it yet, but you should if you haven't. I'm talking to you, co-host.
I got it.
It's by Tony Dungy. Going back to the NFL, right? NFL, Tony Dungy, head coach in the NFL, Super Bowl winner, first African-American Super Bowl winning coach. He's got a bunch of books, a lot of bestsellers. But this one in particular I have right here on my bookshelf called The Uncommon Life, and it's the daily challenge. So it's a 1-year daily challenge. You literally read 1 page a day. There's a page for each day of the year, January 1st all the way to December 31st. And it's got a scripture, it's got a lesson, and then it's got kind of a key or a takeaway for your day. So it's we all love, winning habits. This was something that I did for an entire year from January 1st to December 31st. And I might do it again because I have a lot of pages folded and like highlighted and some notes in there of things that I really liked and took away from that. So it's a great way to start your day off right and really just tackle the day. Hey, no pun intended. NFL pun right there. So, well, with that said, great show. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys even for watching the replays. We love your support. Let us know if there's any topics you want us to tackle. We're loving the this versus that format. So if there's anything that you've either struggled with or you've dealt with or you want to just talk about, it'd be a great topic. Put it in the comments. We'll add it to our list, and maybe this is something that we'll continue to do. So you have any final words, Dave?
Yeah, next week I am going to be, Aloha Friday's no better place, right? I will be in Hawaii next week. So you're going to be getting the Aloha love kind of even stronger than ever. I love going to Hawaii. I'm so honored to be able to go there. I'm doing a training in the islands, but I can't go do a training in the islands without getting some surf time in and some beach time and just Aloha time, period. But I love our topic next week. Intentions versus goals. We're going to dive into it. You might go, well, wait, what's the difference? I don't know. Well, tune in. How do they do that, Shane, where they get notified? How do you?
Oh yeah, if you do want to get notified, so that way you don't miss any episodes, and you want to chime in live, you're like, dang it, I just saw the replay, but I really want to join you guys live. There's 3 dots on the top right corner of this post, and you click those dots, and there's a notification reminder, and it'll notify you when we are live. So that way you can say hi, say aloha. And next week, Dave will be in Hawaii. So join us live. Maybe you can go live from the ocean, from the waves while you're surfing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Do that. Get a waterproof phone. All right. So we got to wrap up. I got to go. But thank you guys for tuning in. Mahalo. As always, I'm your host, Shane Austin, co-host Dave Austin. And this is Aloha Friday, where greatness is made casual. Have a great weekend. And please, would you just have a Mai Tai already and relax, Dave?
Aloha and mahalo.
Aloha.